Hello, Leave Law Behind community. Casey Berman from leavelawbehind.com here. I hope you're doing well. I wanted to shoot this week's video to talk to you about an article that I saw on Above the Law about someone who left the law, and also just talk to you about 2 points that I thought were really interesting and I think could be helpful to you as you think about leaving the law. They definitely were helpful to me and reinforced what we're all doing for me as I read them. It's an interesting article. It was at Above the Law as well as in the Washington Post about Bill Backman. He was a former partner at Williams & Connolly, the big firm there, and he left to become a football coach at Catholic University. It's a Division III team. He actually became the defensive coordinator and then moved up to be the head coach. And it's an interesting article about how he thought about it, how he got off the treadmill, what made him think about things, how he built the courage to do it, so on and so forth. How people were scratching their heads that he had left, how he followed his passion, on and on and on. A lot of what we talk about here. What really jumped out at me, though, were 2 things that I think are core to leaving the law, but I think also can be huge obstacles to us and really get in the way. And I was really impressed at how Bill Backman rationalized it and thought it through and really found the courage to leave the law. The first one is about his unique genius. As you know, he didn't call it that, but as you know here at Leave Law Behind, the unique genius, those skills and strengths and enjoyments that we have are just so important to finding out, fleshing out, and feeling really sincere and authentic about. Once we do that, that informs the career path that we take, not the other things that we've been doing our whole life. What is more secure or has the most stature and so on and so forth. But really turning things on their head to let our unique genius, the stuff that we do well, really inform what job we go after and what path we take. That's extremely important. It's a shift that many of us don't think about making or are uncomfortable making, but once we do and we put the work in to do it, it's just instrumental in us finding that path and that career that really works for us. And Bill, one thing that he talked about was, what is he going to do if he were to leave the law? And he focused on the fact that he had no hobbies, he didn't do golf, didn't do anything like that. He just loved to teach and coach. He coached his kids' little league teams. He mentored people, I think, at the firm. And so really he saw that these, ambiguous kind of intangible things of coaching and teaching, he could actually turn into a type of role and a job outside of the law. He loves teaching kids, he loves mentoring them, he loves developing them. And so being able to coach and teach while kind of fuzzy, what am I going to do with that type of skills, he really aligned with them as his unique genius and was able to turn that into this non-law alternative career. So it was just so great for me to see that. Even though he didn't say the words unique genius, I know that's exactly what they were to him. The second point that he brought up was this fear we have about, following our passion, following our purpose, what we really enjoy, what we're creative about. We hear it all the time. But really, there's that fear of, I played football in high school, I played it in college, or I liked whatever, acting or painting or whatever it is. Who's to say I'm going to want to do it now when I'm 30 or 35 or 40 or 45? And the point really isn't to answer that question necessarily, but the point is to look at the people around us, to look at our kids, and to look at how we want to model, whether it's for other people that are looking up to us, or whether it's really just modeling for ourselves. But I have 2 children myself who are 9 and 6, and I think a lot about what I'm encouraging them to do with this new economy. We've been questioning the education system, questioning what type of jobs they'll actually want to look to and apply for 10, 15, 20 years down the road. The world is changing so much, and there's so much newness here. And who am I really to encourage my kids or people around me to think outside the box and to be creative or to really find an alignment with who they really are if I'm still living out of fear? And so what I do is encourage us as we're thinking about leaving the law to maybe put a little pressure on us, to put a little fire under us, to say that, if we're going to encourage others around us, encourage people who look up to us, maybe our kids or family or whoever else that we're working with, I think we also need to make sure that we are leading by example, that we're the ones doing it and not just aspiring to it. So I encourage you to read about Bill, Washington Post, Above the Law. I'll even find the link and put it up on my site or on Twitter. And really think about how in real life this person who had a nice cushy job at a big firm was able to leave the law, was able to find his unique genius, and also was able to encourage himself to do it by realizing that he was going to be that model for his kids and those around him. So again, Casey Berman from LeaveLawBehind.com. Really happy to have you a part of the community. Great to have you here watching this video. Email me anytime, Casey@LeaveLawBehind.com, or visit the site for a ton of great resources. And look forward for hearing from you. And I read every email that I get. So thank you, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.